Hello and welcome. I am Mark Powell, Lackawanna County District Attorney. Thank you all for joining me. While COVID prevents us from being together in person, I appreciate each of you joining me online. Tonight, I am surrounded by my family, my wife of 30 years, Donna, and my children, Patrick, Mara, Ryan, and Maggie. I am grateful to my family and the sacrifice that they make, allowing me to serve in public office. They serve as a constant reminder to me as to why we must keep our community safe. Today, I'm announcing my intention to run for a second term as District Attorney of Lackawanna County. In 2018, I was blessed with the opportunity to be your District Attorney, and I could not be happier. I love my job. I continue to get up well before sunrise, excited to start my day. I believe that serving as District Attorney is one of the most important jobs in the community, and I am humbled and honored by your trust in me to serve in this capacity. The goal of the District Attorney's Office is to help make our community safer, and it's a responsibility that I take very seriously. Let me share with you a small glimpse of why I do what I do.
My niece Stephanie, very sweet kid, kind-hearted. Unfortunately, her life was taken away from us way too soon. She was just sweet to everybody, loved her family, friends. Stephanie's father, Gary, who unfortunately passed away during this trial of my niece. He didn't actually get to sit through the trial and get to see the justice. So I made sure, and I promised him that I wouldn't miss a day of being in that courtroom to make sure we try getting justice for Stephanie. I watched the evidence that District Attorney was able to put up for us, as hard as it was to see. But I also know I wouldn't want anybody else, if I had another fight, God forbid, that had to be presented, I wouldn't want anybody else but Mr. Powell to do this for me. Mr. Powell gave justice for my family, my beloved Stephanie, my niece. Mr. Powell gave us peace.
When I ran for office 4 years ago, I made 3 promises to the citizens of Lackawanna County. I said I would lead from the front, be fiscally sound, and maintain my independence. Since taking office, I have been lead counsel in all murder cases that have occurred in Lackawanna County. The first murder case that I tried was the successful conviction of Joseph Thornton, a case that had sat stagnant and was not brought to trial for 4 years. There was no closure for the family, no justice, just delay after further delay. Through the hard work and dedication of the Scranton Police and members of my prosecution team, we obtained a first-degree murder conviction of Thornton for the senseless and brutal killing of Stephanie Tominski. I've tried another half-dozen cases to verdict and successfully argued cases before our Superior and Supreme Courts. I choose to lead from the front and personally try cases because I believe it is important not only to teach Assistant District Attorneys how to successfully try cases, but also I believe that it is my duty as your District Attorney. In addition to my role as lead counsel, I review every case going to trial with Assistant District Attorneys to ensure that they are performing at peak performance. This is a method that I have taught for the last 20 years at a national level in Philadelphia and Washington, D.C., and now to district attorneys across Pennsylvania. Our ADAs have embraced this challenge and are doing outstanding work. We negotiate from strength, not weakness. We are eager to go into a courtroom when reasonable plea offers are refused and defendants are well aware of the risk of going to trial and spending more time in jail when they lose. I promised to be fiscally sound. I secured over $1 million in new grant money. Through our opioid grant, we study every overdose death to determine why it occurred, and then look at ways to reduce drug use based on science and statistics. I eliminated part-time district attorneys with outside practices to ensure that our DAs are 100% committed to the office. I had hired individuals based on their qualifications, not their political affiliations, both Republicans and Democrats. Based on my 27 years in the private sector, I learned that you must identify and develop talent and be comfortable when people are not afraid to express contrary views. And through it all, I have maintained my independence. I judge cases on one's conduct without favoritism to special interest. Sometimes that meant I had to take a hard stance with both friends and foes. I don't believe there's any confusion in doing what is right and not doing wrong. I'm going to do what's right regardless of who it upsets, and I will never be in anyone's pocket. It is the only way to ensure the integrity and transparency of the District Attorney's Office and ultimately guarantee equal justice for all. A great degree of my time has been spent attempting to reduce opioid deaths, and I believe we have made significant strides in that regard, even in the face of COVID challenges. I co-chair the Lackawanna Recovery Coalition and work closely with doctors, behavioral health specialists, and law enforcement trying to come up with solutions. We know treatment works, and my office strives to provide diversionary programs that allow treatment without polluting those programs with drug dealers. And drug dealers know if you sell drugs for profit, you will go to jail. I'm the only district attorney in the history of Lackawanna County to prosecute drug delivery resulting in death, despite the law being on the book for decades. It's a simple formula to reduce both the supply and the demand. Both are equally important. My office has worked to protect the elderly from fraud and abuse. I revamped our senior citizens unit and work closely with the area of the aging to protect our seniors. Our office has taken a zero-tolerance approach with anybody who takes advantage of our seniors. We have worked tirelessly to protect children, and my attorneys have vigorously prosecuted all crimes against children. Specifically, we have targeted teachers and others who use their profession to groom unsuspecting victims. And we began a Safe School Coalition, working with school administrators to make our schools safer. Victims must have a voice. When defendants abused people with mental challenges, we stepped in to ensure that the offenders served time in jail. They went to prison, and confidence is restored to all wonderful caregivers in our community who provide compassionate care. When defendants exploit children, people with mental impairments, or take advantage of our seniors, my office is there to hold them fully and completely accountable. While we have accomplished a lot, more needs to be done. We have made great strides, and we must continue our progress. We cannot afford to turn back the clock of time. I love our community. My great-grandparents migrated here over 150 years ago. My family initially worked in the mines, pursued education, and later developed a successful law practice that today is 115 years old. After attending school in Philadelphia and Washington, D.C., I returned home because I wanted to raise my family in the community that I love. Good things are happening in Lackawanna County, and as we grow, we must maintain our hometown charm and encourage our children to return home to raise their families. I need your support. If you would like to volunteer, we would love to have you. And of course, I ask for your vote. Thank you. I sincerely appreciate you allowing me to do what I love to do, to serve our citizens and to make our community safe. Good day and God bless.